Hello, friends. Good morning. It's me, Kelly. Let's talk about how to write blog post conclusions that convert passive readers into customers. Yay! Why? Because we don't write blog posts for no reason, right? We are building a business. Most of us, right, are building a business, a for-profit business, not a charity. So part of that is customers. And I just want to dispel the notion first thing that you're either helping your customers and providing value to them or you're moving your business forward, right? No, you can do both at once. Serve your customers and they will serve you. All right, let me pull up the chat. Happy Thursday, everybody. Happy Thursday. And don't forget, today is the last day to get your hands on one of these bad boys. So this is the last day to enter in the drawing to win a Badass Bloggers mug. It says Badass Blogger with a powerful message. Hell yes. Hell yes. It's a camp mug, so it's metal, which just makes it awesome. All right, let's see. All right. I've got the comments up. So let's talk about conclusions. Okay, so y'all know that the headline is the most important part of your blog post, right? Because if nobody clicks through to it, then your blog post might as well not exist. It's like Schrodinger's cat, right? We don't know if it's alive or dead until we open the box, right? So the headline's the most important part, right? We get people to your blog post via the headline. Your intro is the second most important part because it convinces your reader to read the rest of your blog post, or at the very least, skim through it. And then the conclusion, in my opinion, is the third most important part of your blog post. And that is because just like your email signature, so the signature area of your emails is one of the most read areas. It has a very similar effect in blog posts. So skimmers do this when they're scooting down the pages, and even like non-super skimmers. This is kind of how we operate now because we are all taking in so much information digitally all the time. We're all in like survival mode, right? Our brains can only handle so much information. So we read the headline, right? The intro, we scoot down the page reading emphasized text and captions, things that grab our attention. So headings, bolded text, highlighted text, lists, image captions. We're scooting down the page, and then we generally hover over the conclusion. So it gets more concerted attention than the rest of the body of the blog post, right? So the reader puts the most attention on your headline, your intro, and your conclusion, just like an email signature. Hi, Amanda's here. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? You get to come home soon. Yay, Amanda. Okay, so let's talk about what makes an awesome conclusion. First of all, label it clearly. None of this, have a clearly labeled conclusion area, right? But don't call it something so cute that people can't tell that it's a conclusion. I label mine conclusion with a heading. That's how I do it. They know, right, where the end of the blog post is. It's easy for them to find. If you want more people to read your conclusions, clearly label it a conclusion. You can be kind of cute just as long as it's still obvious it's a conclusion, like final thoughts or takeaway, things like that. You don't have to label it conclusion like I do, but that works too, right? Nobody out there reading our blog post is going to be like editorializing our content. Like, oh, I would have gone with a more creative heading than just conclusion. No, that's not how the user experience goes, right? They're only focused on themselves, really, which is how we all operate in this world. So I'm not throwing shade. I'm just saying that's how it is. So firstly, clearly label your conclusion. I think I got all of them. Oh, you can also call it a wrap up. That's right. Yeah, you can also call it a wrap up. So another important piece of a conclusion is convincing skimmers to go back and actually read the damn post. Like, so the super skimmers that really didn't absorb a lot of your content, you can convince them that they missed something awesome by reading your blog post body or by not reading your blog post body, and get them to go back and actually consume your awesome content that you poured a lot of time, effort, and love into. Conclusions also give you the opportunity to leave a positive final impression on your audience, right? To stand out from all the other billions of bloggers online. And they get your readers to take action. So by putting a call to action in your conclusion, you are putting a call to action. So asking them to do something that is going to move your business forward in one of the spots where you know they are putting their concerted attention, right? Unlike being buried in the body of your blog post somewhere, when you put it in your conclusion, it has a much greater chance of being read. All right, so your conclusion should have a wrap-up summary type kind of sentence. Personality, remember, we want to leave a awesome final impression on this reader, that we want to turn this passive reader into like a die-hard fan, right? So don't phone it in with some boring ass conclusion. This is where you want to like amp up your personality, right? When you're writing your blog post rough draft, when in doubt, fully turn the volume up on your personality. And then if you decide that's a little bit too much, sometimes I decide it's a little bit too much Kelly for the internet. And you can always dial it back, right? When it's editing time. But turn the volume on your personality up as a default. And then if it's a little bit too much later, you can edit it out. But honestly, it's kind of hard to be a little bit too much for the internet, right? Okay, and then of course, a call to action, which we talked about. So I do what I like to call a transformation congratulation. I made that up because I like to rhyme. And that is like 1 to 2 sentences where I congratulate my reader on their transformation that they received as a result of reading my blog post. So, for example, in my 10-step blog writing process blog post, I said, blog post writing isn't what you thought it would be, but now that you have my proven 10-step process, you can do it. Just stick to this proven 10-step blog writing process and you'll be on your way to blogging badassery, right? So I'm congratulating them on leaving that struggle behind, the struggle of blog writing not being what they thought it would be. But now that they have this process that I laid out for them in the blog post body, they're no longer struggling with it, right? So the idea behind that is, well, one, to reinforce the transformation they received by reading my blog post, if they actually read it, right? If they were not actually a super skimmer, but then to convince the super skimmers, like, hey, you might have missed something super important back up on the blog post body. Maybe you should go take another look, right? Because we write these blog posts, yes, to move our business forward. But again, the flip side of that is to provide value to our customers or to our readers, right? We want them to actually consume our content. And it increases time on page, which is great for SEO. So, another example would be the 25-step blog post checklist. So that one goes something like, phew, that was one hell of a post, but you made it. Congrats, girl. You're on your way to publishing viral posts with ease. Now you can write posts that are both reader friendly and optimized for search engines, all in 25 clear steps. Yay, right? So again, I'm congratulating them on the transformation they received as a result of reading my blog post. Okay, next you want to add in your super beautiful personality, right? And it doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be the Kelly show every time you write a blog post conclusion. What I mean by adding in your beautiful personality is like identifying your vernacular, right? Slang that you say. Work that into your blog post writing. It will make you stand out online. If all of our blog posts sound like a research paper, you are just going to blend in with the billions of other bloggers online. So, me, I say badass all the time. I really do. In my real life, I say badass all the time. Early on, I identified this as part of my slang vernacular, and obviously you're here in my group, Badass Bloggers. It is worked into my brand at this point. So when I say something in my conclusion, like just stick to this proven 10-step blog writing process and you'll be on your way to blogging badassery, that stands out a lot better than just stick to this 10-step blog writing process and you'll be on your way to success, right? Same thing, means the same thing, has a lot more personality, and it just took 2 words, right? The Kelly Show. Yes, Amy. It's my whole life is the Kelly Show. Oh, Tamina, I hope you are joking. Tamina says, listening to you all of a sudden, I'm like, do I even have a personality? Tamina, you have so much personality. Yes, girl, you do. That's, I'm flummoxed that you said that. Anybody who knows you knows that you are, you have oodles of Tamina coming out your pores. I love you. Don't be silly. You gave me a good laugh. Okay. And then again, when I was like, phew, that was one hell of a post and you made it. Congrats, girl. You're on your way to publishing viral posts with ease, right? It has a really conversational tone, and that's really how I talk, right? So a lot of it, there is work to be done in identifying the way you actually talk. So we have to have some self-awareness around the way we talk in our daily lives and figure out how to type that out and work it into our writing so it's a more conversational tone. That's why I love blog writing. I have always loved writing, like accidentally majored in English in college because I took so many writing classes, but I was never into like the grammar part of it. I was taking creative writing. So I love that blogging is so conversational and you get to break all of those like set in stone grammar rules that you're not really even sure why you're sticking to. But at this point, God damn it, you're going to do it. Like and history. Come on. Yeah, Paulette says if you don't, then I don't either. Yeah. Me, Tamina, and Paulette all don't have personality. I roll. So yeah, when in doubt, pump up the volume on yourself. If you can always dial it back later, like I said, but oftentimes that's just our inner critic. Like a lot of the times you really don't need to dial it back later, right? And if you are like balls to the wall yourself, you're going to weed out a lot of people that really, aren't your people. And you are going to really call to people that are your people. So, like I know people that when they read a swear word in a blog post or on a sales page, they bounce right off that page. They're like, nope, right? Which is fine. That's totally preference, right? But I also know people, I am one of them, that when they read a swear word in a blog post or a sales page, they're like, oh, I'm in the right spot. This is the person for me, right? I'm not telling you to swear. I'm telling you to follow your like true north, right? If there's something weird that you say, I don't know, maybe you're like a child of the 80s, early 90s, and you say true dat all the time. Like own that, right? Don't censor your unicorn. Don't dull your shine. Oh, okay. Tamina. She says, I meant more like when you're expected to infuse your personality into something, all of a sudden it becomes difficult. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Like when someone says, tell me something interesting about yourself and you question, yes. Okay. I hear you. I'm sorry. I went a little bit mama bear on you there for a second. I was like, don't come for my girl, Tamina. I totally hear you. Yes. When people ask me what my hobbies are, I'm like, I don't have any hobbies. That's not true. I totally do. Yeah, I hear you. So how could we start paying attention to the way we naturally speak without overthinking it and being like, well, I don't naturally speak anyway. I'm just a blank slate. How could we do that? Is there a way we can? So I started learning a lot about myself and the way I speak when I started doing these live streams. I was like, oh, I say this a lot, or I do this a lot. I say a lot, which I do not work into my blog writing. But is there a way aside from live streaming? Because I know y'all don't want to live stream all the time. That's fine. Different strokes for different folks. But, is there a way that we can start paying attention to the way we naturally speak without being so aware of it that we change the way we're speaking, right? So for me, that was live streaming. I became much, much more aware of my own vernacular. But yeah, I would start to maybe take out a sheet of paper and write down all the slang that you love to say. Maybe don't sit down with the mindset like, hey, right now I'm going to figure out what my special spice is, right? Maybe take that pressure off and just be like, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to make a list of my favorite slang words. The words that I just love to say, and just write them out, and then challenge yourself the next time you're writing a blog post conclusion and it sounds a little boring. Go back to that list, pick out one of your slang words and see if it doesn't kind of like naturally fit in there and spice it up a little bit. Oh, thank you. Amanda says, I wish I had you on one-on-one coaching. You should seriously look into that. Oh, that's nice. You're so sweet, Amanda. Yeah. Amanda says, I'm a teacher. I'm afraid I would just be preaching to people. Yeah, I think that's your inner critic. I do. Man, our inner critic's a little shit. You know what I mean? It's like sometimes you just got to tell that little bastard to sit down and shut up. I don't think that you would be preachy. Amanda corrects everyone grammar. I can't help it, especially living overseas. Yeah. You're a grammar police. That's okay. I'm not, and I've accepted that about myself. Just not a person who's terribly into grammar. Hey, Crystal's here. Good morning, Crystal. How are you? Crystal is entered in the contest to win a Badass Bloggers mug. Yeah, today's the last day to enter in the contest, so you guys should do it. Okay, let's talk about a call to action. And I'm not talking about turning yourself into a used car salesman in your blog post conclusion. A call to action, if you don't know, is just asking your reader to do something, preferably something that will make you money and or move your business forward somehow in some measurable fashion, right? So things like asking them to opt into your email list, right? That's a call to action. It can be very, very simple. It does not have to be super spammy. Okay, let's talk about where to put your calls to action. So you can put them near the top of your blog post. So say like my blog post checklist blog post, I will obviously want to offer them the printable checklist near the top. It is like one of the first things I do. It's in the first heading. There are some blog posts where maybe it doesn't make sense. Like that one makes a lot of sense to have a call to action right at the top because it's integral to their experience in the blog post, right? They want to have the list to go along with it. There are some blog posts where it doesn't make sense to have one right away, and that's fine. You can put calls to action throughout if there are naturally arising occasions for them. So again, let's say in my blog post checklist blog post, I am in the outlining step and I have a printable outline they could use. I could be like, hey, while we're at it, grab my free outline. Boom, call to action throughout the blog post when they arise naturally, right? When it's going to help you and serve your audience. Win, 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 win. Yeah. Yeah, Amanda. Amanda says, shouldn't the calls to action pretty much be everywhere you can? That's what I've been told by others. Yeah. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I just think that if you put them where they arise naturally, it makes much more sense for your reader to take that action, right? If you put them where they don't naturally arise, then they might not make as much sense for the reader and enhance the reader experience. But if you are, I don't know, let's say you're about to do a huge launch, right? And you want to put a call to action to join your free workshop that you have going on as part of that launch, right smack dab in the middle of your blog post, girl, do it. You know what I mean? Yeah. We're also afraid of selling. And selling doesn't have to be sleazy. Yeah. Okay. And then definitely put them in the conclusion because, like I mentioned, people are often at least hovering over the conclusion. So they're scooting down the page. They're at least hovering and giving your conclusion a little bit more attention than they gave the body of your blog post. Crystal took a super quick shower so she didn't miss it. Thanks. It's so good to have you here. Amanda says, I entered too. I want a mug so bad. That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Selling doesn't have to be sleazy. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. And think about it. Okay. If you went out to lunch, let's say that you were a dog trainer. You were a world-class dog trainer and your friend maybe knew, maybe had no idea, and you guys went out to lunch. And your friend is picking your brain about dog training because they have this horrible, rotten dog. Ugh, that's a bad sentence coming out of my mouth. No dogs are horrible and rotten. They have a dog that has been trained horribly and rottenly. How about that? Untrained dog, and it's making their life miserable, right? It's scratching up the doors, and it's like aggressively barking at people, and it's jumping up on people when they come over. And you are talking them through some things they could do, but you know what? They're just not quite getting it. It's not quite clicking. You know that is not going to click until they are actually working with their dog and with a knowledgeable instructor sitting there and telling them what to do next. Okay, your dog just did that. That means this, and you need to react this way. That is how they are going to see a real transformation in their life. And in the course of the conversation, you do not mention that you have a training program that they can join. Does that make any sense? I know. I'm so mean. Bad dog, bad owner. That's right. Bad Kelly. Yes. There are no bad dogs. But does that make sense, right? Like you go out to lunch with your friend. They're having this awful problem. You have a service that they very obviously need. And you never once be like, hey, if you're interested, I have this thing. It can help you. Does that make sense? That's what it's like to leave a call to action out of a blog post, because you can shoot information at people all day, every day, right? It is often in the doing that they are actually going to absorb that information. And oftentimes our services, be them courses or coaching or whatever it is, worksheets, are going to help them reinforce that information in the blog post. So, are you really serving them when you're not offering up your services? That is what I would question. It doesn't have to be spam. Spammity spam with a side order of spam on spam. Okay. So call to actions can be really, really simple and non-spammy. So they can be as simple as, if you love this post, you'll love blank. That should be like your fallback go-to, whatever you're promoting. If you loved this post, you'll love my free Facebook group. If you loved this post, you will love my email newsletter. If you loved this post, you will love my free checklist, my one-on-one coaching, my group coaching, whatever it is, whatever you want to put there that will align with their needs, right? So that should be like your go-to sentence. If you love this post, you'll love blank. And it's easy and it's non-spammy. All right. So another one you can fall back on if you are just kind of like, you know what, girl, I just need to get used to asking people to do things, and I'm not entirely comfortable asking them to buy my product or opt into my list. Ask them to leave a blog post comment. It's a gimme. Ask them to leave a blog post comment. You are getting them to engage with you, right? In the leaving of a blog post comment. And you're also getting them, you're getting yourself used to putting a call to action in there, writing out calls to actions. And then you're getting your customer used to seeing you ask them to do something and then doing it, right? You're deepening that relationship, especially if they leave a comment, respond. Amanda says, should your conclusion just be one paragraph, or can it be 2 or 3 paragraphs? Is that too much? I would keep them short, but paragraphs, like my paragraphs are 1 sentence long. So, I think mine are usually like a few sentences. Let me pull one bad boy up. Let's pull up the Bing & Blog Post checklist. Scroll all the way to the bottom, girl. 1, 2, 3, 4. So my conclusion for my blog post checklist is 4 paragraphs, but they're 1 sentence each, right? I try to keep them pretty short. I would caution making them really long, and definitely don't make them a big wall of text, right? Oftentimes we don't have the luxury of media in our conclusion, like a list maybe, but like, this is the end of the blog post. It's time to be wrapping it up, right? We're not putting in videos and things like that. So I would keep them pretty short. Yeah, Crystal says hers are about 100 words long. Let me see how long this one is. This one is 395 words. Woo! Yes. Oh, yeah. Okay. Amanda says, English teacher again. I preach to my students. It has to be 4 to 5 sentences. Haha. Yes. Well, and right, a research paper or a traditional English paper would be a paragraph is 4 to 5 sentences, right? Or 3 to 5, right? Yeah. We get to break all the grammar rules, and sometimes it takes some doing to break all those rules. Because they're so ingrained in us. No, I don't think so. Oh, I'm sorry. That was characters, not words. I'm sorry, Crystal. You're right. Crystal's like, girl, your math doesn't make sense. Mine's 72 words. I need some more lemon mate tea. Okay. So, back to what I was saying. Blog post comments are a gimme. If you just need to get warmed up to the idea of asking your reader to do something, you can fall back on blog post comments. It's pretty easy. And people are used to seeing that, right? Yeah. And don't just tell them to comment, give them a prompt. So let's say you're writing a blog post about training your dog. In your conclusion, you could say, what's your biggest struggle with training your dog? Leave your answer in the comment section below, right? Yeah, Tamina says, I was a stickler for grammar back in my English teacher days, but I found out that writing to sell is drastically different than writing for academia. 100%. Yeah. Yeah, those traditional grammar rules will hurt you. And what I've found about blog posts is that it's a mix of conversational writing and copywriting, right? It really is. It's a mix of writing in that conversational friends having a chat tone, and then when you slip into call to action mode, suddenly you're writing copy, right? Okay. You can also put affiliate links. I see affiliate links in conclusions all the time. And again, that is because we know that people are paying attention to the conclusions, just like people are paying attention to the email signature, like a lot more than they pay attention to the actual body of the email, right? I see affiliate links in conclusions all the time, and it doesn't sound weird. So an example would be if somebody has written a comparison post between Kajabi and Teachable, and their decision is that Kajabi is the shit and you should be using that for your business. I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm just saying, giving an example. In their conclusion, they could be like, hey, don't forget, Kajabi's awesome. You can grab your free 14-day trial here. And it's an affiliate link, right? So you can go build your awesome blogging empire. It just doesn't have to be weird. And that makes sense to have that there, right? For your reader. Your reader is typing in Teachable versus Kajabi into Google, and your opinion is that Kajabi is the way to go. It makes sense to offer your reader a way to get started with Kajabi. Amy says, what is your favorite tip? What tip are you going to try? Do you have a tip I missed? Yes, I love it. Those are a few I use. So that's how she is getting people to engage with her content in her conclusion. So instead of just saying, leave a comment below, she's saying, what is your favorite tip? What tip are you going to try? So if it was like 10 tips to get your dog to stop pulling on their leash, which one are you going to try? I love that. I love it, Amy. Crystal says, read lots of blog posts and blogs of bloggers and start picking it apart like you would a novel of great authors. That's right. Yes. The constant student mentality is so important to improving your blog writing. It really is. And your sales. I mean, I have swipe files for everything. I have swipe files for headlines. I have swipe files for sales pages. And you bet your booty I have swipe files for people who I think are writing really smart blog posts. Yeah. And yeah, that's right. Study their work, dissect it. Okay. So affiliate links, email opt-ins, right? Email opt-ins. So the gimme can be, if you loved this, you will love my newsletter so if you loved this post, let's go back to the dog training one. If you love this post, let's say it was about dog training, you will love my newsletter where I send you tips on dog training every single week. Sign up here, right? That could be your gimme if you want to increase your email opt-ins. But of course, if you have an actual opt-in, like a freebie, that would be of value to them given the content of the blog post, offer it to them in your conclusion. One last reminder, don't forget to grab your free easy peasy dog training guide. Okay. Oh, Amanda says, what the heck is a swipe file? I hear it all the time and I don't understand. So a swipe file is where you collect like samples of other people's work, not to copy it, but to study it and learn from it. So I actually think that swipe files started in like the Mad Men days, right? Where they would like cut ads that inspired them that they thought were really smart, and them being like, advertisers out of magazines, and then put them in a file to study them, right? To turn to it for inspiration when they themselves were stuck with an ad or just writing an ad or whatever, right? We're learning from each other constantly. So When I am reading a sales page that is really hitting all the marks for me, oftentimes I will save it, or I will be taking screenshots of it and, like highlighting stuff and circling stuff like, this was really smart, I should be doing this. Sometimes I read a sales page and I'm like, this is how I should be selling this product that I'm selling. Like, they are doing it how I should be doing it. And I will take it and I will study it and I will try to apply it to my sales page, right? So a swipe file is just taking a little snippet of somebody's work and putting it in a place for you to study later. I use Google Docs because you can access it anywhere, right? I will save sales pages I like to a Facebook. You can like save this post for later on Facebook. I have a swipe file on there. Does that make sense, Amanda? I hope that makes sense. Yeah, Crystal says, also get out of my brain. I have been deep diving into dog training lately. I know, I'm just in your head, girl. I'm just in there all the time. Okay, and then also you can use your conclusion to promo events. So just remember to change it once the event is over. So like I did a blog post reboot 3-day challenge. I don't remember. I think that was in the fall. Seems like a long time ago. And I went to my top performing posts and I added something in there about like, hey, if you're looking to try out your new blog writing skills that you learned in this post, join me for the free upcoming blog post reboot 3-day challenge. And it would, of course, be a link. See you there. Right. And that was it. So I was taking my top performing posts and I was taking a spot that I knew people were looking on that top performing post. And I was putting in a little call to action for my upcoming event. And the flip side of that is I had to remember to go in and change it once the event was over. So keep that in mind. Oh, good. Okay. I'm glad that makes sense. All right. And then also you can use your conclusion to put in a call to action to send them wherever you nurture them, right? So I nurture people in my Facebook group. Obviously, I love my Facebook group. I dote on you guys for good reason. You're awesome. This is where I give away a lot of free value, right? Where do you give away free value? Maybe you have a bitchin' Instagram page where you are just like on there, you're lit up, you're providing free value, you're nurturing your audience, you're interacting with them, you're answering their questions, whatever it is, whatever that nurturing looks like for you, whatever platform it's on, send them there, right? That is going to, obviously, it's going to help them because that is where you provide your support, but it is also going to move your business forward, right? Because that nurturing is the beginning of getting people to know, like, and trust you. That you're not just some sleazy used car salesman on the internet. So a lot of my blog posts, a lot of them end with have questions about whatever the heck I just talked about. Meet me in my free Facebook group for live Q&As and get your specific questions answered, right? Something like that. Okay, and then obviously, if you have a related product, you can pitch it to them. Depending on how you like to do your sales. A lot of people do straight to sales page. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think there's one right way to do it. You know what I mean? Like straight to sales page versus no, I have to get them nurtured first and then freebie first and then in my funnel and then buy a low budget product and then I can pitch them my high budget sales page. That's fine too. I don't think there is one right way to do it, right? But I see a lot of people do straight to sales page and it obviously works. So that is totally legit to put as a CTA in your conclusion. If you wrote an entire blog post about freelance writing and you just so happen to have an entire course on it, it would make sense to offer that to them in the place where you know they are more likely to focus their attention. And that is the conclusion, right? And again, it doesn't have to be spammy, sleazy. It doesn't have to be a novel. It can be a couple sentences. We're not used car salesmen. Repeat after me. I am not a used car salesman. Okay. Oh, I'm missing a whole bunch of comments. Where was it? Crystal says, if you think about it being the swipe file, almost like copy work to teach children good grammar and spelling by writing sentences from great authors. Okay, yes, I love this. Or for older grades, having them study and write a certain author's work. Yes, right? We learn through imitation. Yeah, if you guys can get into that student mindset where you are not just experiencing as a user blog posts and sales pages and Facebook ads. I have a Facebook ad copy swipe file. You are going to improve whatever craft it is that you are studying. So be it blog writing, copywriting, Facebook ads, sales pages, emails, whatever it is, through the act of being in the student mindset, right? And then studying and dissecting somebody's work, trying to figure out why does this work and how can I apply what they're doing to what I'm doing. You are going to improve. There's no way that process can make you go backwards. No. There's no way. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, Crystal. Thanks for that. Paulette says, bonus, in a student mindset, you have lower expectations, so you don't beat yourself up about getting it perfect. Absolutely. Yeah. Right. Like, God, I should have known that. Your mom goes to college. Okay. All right, friends. I just realized that I was supposed to wake my daughter up an hour ago and I didn't. It takes her like 2 hours to get ready for school, so this is going to be interesting. So I better run. Yeah. Oh, Crystal keeps her swipe files in Trello. Yeah, that's a good idea too. Yeah, Trello is the same idea. So I like Google Docs because it doesn't matter what device I'm on. If I'm on my desktop computer or on my phone, I can add to the same file. But same idea with Trello, right? It's in the cloud. It's amazing. Oh, Rashonda, that's okay. I'm sorry you missed the live. Hi, Rashonda. You guys, don't forget, today is the last day to get your free Badass Bloggers mug. So you invite people to this Facebook group, take a screenshot of you inviting people to this Facebook group and DM it to me. And then you get entered in the drawing. The drawing is tomorrow. It is an awesome mug. I love it. It goes everywhere with me. Badass blogger with a powerful message is what it says. And it's metal. It's a camp mug. It's so cute. It's so cute. Yeah. Enter. Oh, Amanda uses Trello every day. There you go, girl. Yeah, you've got a ready-made swipe file. Thank you for the suggestion, Crystal. Thank you to Crystal. Wait, I don't know who Lincoln Loud is, but that's funny. Dad, do we have the cloud? That's funny. It's in the cloud. They're in the computer. All right, friends. I love you a lot. I like it a lot. And I will see you tomorrow morning for the announcement of who's taking home a brand new mug. I still can't remember the Price is Right theme song. I try, and all that comes out is Rocky. All right. Love you guys. Have a great day. Go write some badass conclusions.